Good evening, friends. The market mood has changed. There was a panic kind of a situation, and suddenly things have improved. The same FPI which was selling at the lower price is now coming and buying at the higher price. So mood has changed. I think one biggest question everyone wants to understand, will this mood get sustained or not? Very famous fund manager suggested to get out of mid and small cap stock, lock, stock and barrel. Another leading market personality suggested that Indian market will not make any meaningful returns in next 5 years and so on and so forth. And in fact, someone asked me in the month of Feb, because very prominent personality, one who wrote a book, talk about biggest crash of our lifetime is coming in the Feb 2025. Of course, during this webinar, we will play that video where the question was asked and what response I had given to that. Today I have a very interesting data point covering all these points, and I want to present in front of you. But before I present my data, disclaimer, this webinar is just to enhance your understanding about the equity market. This webinar is only for an education purpose. Please consult your financial advisor before buying or selling any stock. In no way we are in this webinar, we are giving any buy or sell in this webinar. Investment in securities market are subject to market risk, and past performance is no indicator of future returns. So let me start with my presentation. We all know last 1 week the market has moved up from 23. This is last, when I say last 1 week, is 13 March to 21st March. Okay, 5 trading days actually. Okay, and I'm not going to basically. Is the history? Everyone knows 4.26% has gone up. But that's not the point. Point is, वो होने के बाद क्या होता है? It's not that very often you see the market getting more than 4% in 1 week. बहुत rarely होता है. So what I did actually, I look at the data and try to understand, after doing that 4%, what happens in the market next 3 months down the line? Does it get sustained or it does not get sustained? So let's look at the data. So it is not that 10 times it has happened in last 10 years. But it doesn't happen every year. When you say 10 times in a 10 years, someone would make an assumption on an average 1 times in a year. In fact, the last time it happened was in 31st January 2021. Am I right? 4 साल पहले हुआ था 4% gain. But before that, there was a COVID period. If you look at this, out of 10 times, 4 times, 6 times, it happened in 2020, which was a COVID year. And the reason why, because market has fallen substantially. So yes, it was trying to cover up this one. So I don't know whether how much importance we should give it to that. So number one, 4% in a week is not a very recurring feature. It happened 2 times in 2016. After that, 1 times in 2018. After that, 2021. That is again on a gap of 2 years or something. And this time it happened more than 4 years. 4%. Now the question comes, what happens returns? Does it get sustained or not 3 months down the line? Again, very interesting data point. So I'm ignoring this data of 31, 22, 26, 22, 23 because that's not a normal data point. So we should not get carried away by that. But if you look at it, normally market 3 months down the line, and this is point to point return. That means there will be some dip in between, and there will be some pick in between. On an average, gives 7 to 16% gain kind of a stuff. So will this get happen this time or not? Again, this is my personal opinion, not Mojo PMS or Markets Mojo opinion. So we take it with a tons of salt. Things are improving in a very nice manner. What are the positive things that is happening? And let me jot down one by one. April, from 1st April, which we are not very far off from, people take home salary and take home income will go up. Why? Because you have a rebate coming in. That's a point number one. Point number two, the capex cycle, which could not be as good as what it was expected because of heat waves, because of election, there is no kind of an hindrance in FY 2025-26. So that will be better. Number three, crude oil prices going down. Of course, in the last couple of days, again, it moved up because of Venezuela import duty and so on and so forth. But if you look at the trajectory, has been quite downward. We are at 52-week low crude oil price. That benefits India. Rupee, which was depreciating, has again regained. And of course, I'll show that data in this presentation. FPI have done with the selling almost, and of course, that dividend. That's another positive thing. Indian earnings, which was very bad for Q2, Q3, even Q4 may not be so great. But the Q1 of FY 2026 will be better. Base effect, number one. Number two, revival in the economy. Inflation, 7 months low. Rate of interest, we have seen one rate cut. We should expect more rate cut. Now, these are all positive for the market to go up. So, I will not be surprised, and of course, you can help me responsible for that. 21st March, so this data that you can see, 21st March, 3 months down the line, give me 21st June 2025. By that time, the expectation about the results would kicking in and so on and so forth. Market should give positive returns, anywhere between 7 to 16%. The many people were waiting still on the sideline. All गिरेगा, and there was a very famous movie No Entry में था ना, all नीचे, all कितना नीचे, kind of stuff. You know, someone asked me in Feb, can we have the video? Is it ready? Let's listen to this video, which was done when someone asked me, and look at my reply. Atul Sir said, Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad and Poor Dad, has predicted that the biggest crash of stock market till now will happen in Feb 2000. What do you think, sir? I don't know, sir, how many predictions he made in the past and how many predictions have come true. Biggest crash of stock market. I wish we could do betting on this. I don't see any reason or a possibility that to happen. Please, Atul sir, my request to you, please again ask this question that on 1st March 2025 to me, and let's see what happened to this. आमिर एक काम करना मेरे भाई, ये सवाल को तू स्टोर कर ले. हम लोग अगेन विल पुट दिस क्वेश्चन अगेन ऑन 1st March 2025 बिकॉज तब तो फेब चला हो गया होगा. Let's try to understand whether the biggest crash of the market has happened or not. My request to all of you, when we are fearful, we will always read or come across articles or views which basically fits into our philosophy. That happens in bull market also, that happens in bear market also. So as you can see, and in fact I had promised Amir to remind me on 1st March, and he did not this one. and suddenly he remind me that sir अपने को करना है वो वीडियो का. So point I wish to convey, everyone is waiting for the bottom, no one knows where the bottom is. People will, so when there is so much negative news, one has to really, really, really see an opportunity. So not let a single crisis should be used as an opportunity to make money. So when 10 people comes and tell you why market should go down, I'll be more happy to put more money in the market. And when 10 people tell me why market will further go from here, I'll be happy to lock in my profits. So I think somewhere the fear psychosis has to go down. So again, coming back to this slide, the 4.26% gain that we have made in last 1 week, will it get sustained? The most probably answer is yes, and we should expect near about 8 to 9% 3 months returns. So by 21st June, if I have to come again and again, Amir, ये वापस 22nd June को चलाना होगा वीडियो, and let's try to see what actually happened from the level of 21st March. My request to all of you, please, please, please. Market is all about non-linear returns. Do not allow human emotions to impact the market. And I'm very thankful, I don't know how many of our PMS customers attend this webinar. I had requested many of them personally, please use deep in this market in the month of Jan and Feb to put more money in the PMS. And I know what happened to their portfolios. So when you put more money at the lower level, probability of you going wrong is come down. And that's exactly what I want to tell everyone. Don't have too much, short-term view on the market. As I told you, I don't know. I'm willing to go 20% down, but I know that despite the 20% down, I can still make 30-40% return in the market. And that's exactly what is going to happen. Now what happened to the market? So what I did, actually, I looked at the bounce back from the 52-week lows. And I've looked at in large cap, mid cap, and the small cap just to get a flavor. So, just to first give an overall picture, almost 56% to be very precise, I have seen companies touching 52-week low either in the month of Jan, either in the month of Feb, either in the month of March. The March has been 46% of the company touched the 52-week low. Now, I was looking at the data of 2022. I was looking at the data of March 2020 when then really, but March 2020 was a little exception because 80% of the company at that time touched 52-week low. Normally, this data also gives some kind of an indication that when too many companies touch 52-week low, 52-week lows too soon, maybe that could be the bottom for the market. That's for the broader market. Don't get confused me with the mid and small cap kind of. I'm not talking about any particular segment right now. The broader market, and that's what makes me believe that if 46% of the company which has touched 52-week low in March 2025, that is this month, probability, I think the pain is almost out of the system. There could be a time correction. There could be a narrow rally that can happen in the market. The new leaders can come in. But the sense I'm getting is that do not expect too much downside in the broader indices from this level. So let's look at what happened to the top 100. Nifty 100, 38, so what I've highlighted is the highest bracket. 10 to 20% return, 38% of the company is given in Nifty 100. Okay, and that's the top. More than 40 is 9%. Okay. In BSE Mid Cap, and sometimes people do ask me, why do you take BSE Mid Cap on one hand you take Nifty 100, then why do you take BSE Mid Cap and BSE Small Cap in your presentation? Reason is very simple, and I've explained many times, but let me again repeat. Because the number of companies in the BSE Mid Cap and BSE Small Caps are much higher as compared to Nifty Mid Cap and Nifty Small Cap. And due to that, I strongly believe that BSE Mid Cap has a better representation of what's happening in the mid cap space. At the same way, BSE Small Cap is a better representation of what is happening in the small cap space. BSE Mid Cap 10 to 20% is 36%. Again, that's the highest bracket. But in the mid cap, in the small cap, the highest bracket is 0 to 10. In other words, and of course the 24% in more than 40, which is the highest amongst all categories. So there is a kind of a divergence that we are seeing between these two, within the small cap space. Some companies did extremely well and some companies are struggling to regain the confidence of the investors. Based on the data analysis, which helps me to understand, is that there could be more mid and small cap pain. Some companies will do well, some companies will not do well. But large cap more or less has gone through that pain period. Do not expect too much fall from this level within Nifty and Sensex. We continue to maintain our prediction for Nifty and Sensex 2025. We do see a positive gain in 2025. We don't see negative gains in the 2025. How the market behaved very quickly. The large cap did better as compared to mid and small cap, while small cap was up by only 0.82%. The mid cap was up by 1.26%, but Sensex and Nifty were up by almost 2.5%. Infra was on the top of the cycle, followed by IT. IT has come as a big surprise. We don't know whether it's sustainable or not. PSU also has started. Bank Nifty did extremely well. Nifty Finance did very well. And of course, the FMCG, which we believe should do well, was up by only 1.54%. When you look at YTD, the finance and the bank Nifty are in green now. That's a call we have given in 2025. The bank Nifty and the NBFCs, the NBFC space should do very well. In our PMS, we have a lot of exposure into banks and the NBFCs. Nifty Infra also has outperformed the Sensex and this one, and FMCG still continues to remain laggard. I think we should see some change happening in the next 9 months of 2025. Small cap anyway is down by 16%, mid cap is down by 10%, and Nifty and Sensex almost at the same level what they were there at the end of 2024. Very surprising, a very interesting graph on the rupee. 85 we started the 2025. It went down to 87, and again we are at 85.56. जहाँ से शुरुआत की थी वहाँ पे अब तक का जर्नी रहा है. So when I look at the point-to-point returns of rupee has not depreciated in 2025. I again repeat, rupee has not depreciated against the dollar in 2025, despite tariff war, despite FIIs selling heavily in the Indian equity market. Rupee has come back to where it started. Of course, this is point to point I'm talking about. Since rupee is almost at the same level, and when I look at dollar returns of the Indian market did better than the US market. Trump was supposed to make America great again. In fact, a lot of people are asking questions about our recession happening in the US, and there is a lot of uncertainty that's happening in the US. Of course, 2nd April is a D-Day, and we'll come to know what's happening. Still, no one has handled what exactly is going to happen. But Nifty 50, Sensex is down almost by 1.07%. S&P 500 is down by 1.8%. BSE 500 is down by 4.8%, and Nasdaq is down by 5.4%. And this number will keep improving in the sense Indian market should do better than the US market in rest of 2025. And again, this is again, I repeat, in dollar terms, India should do better as compared to the US market. Many of you basically little excited to go and diversify into US market. My advice would be, don't do that. FPI has come back in last 1 week, pumped in 20,000 crore. Having said that, they are still negative in the month of what we call March 2025, 14,000 crore they've sold. We have only 2 trading days left of this financial year, tomorrow and day after tomorrow. Monday, I will inform the markets are closed. So in 2 days, will this become positive? Looks a little difficult. So I think March we will still see a little negative figure for the FPI. But again, reiterate, FPI seems to have done with the selling. I think if you look at Jan say Feb and Feb say March, the selling has been a little lower than what the previous month has been. Would not be surprised if we see very soon positive numbers from FPI for the month, not for the 1 week, for the month. Why we all know that FPIs are very critical for the Indian equity market. So what I did, whenever FPI sold in FY 2022, they sold 1.4 lakh crore. Indian market gave positive returns, 18.8 Nifty 50. In FY 2025, despite 1.37 lakh crore outflow, Indian market has given positive returns. So it does give an indication that yes, sometimes we do get carried away by the FPI selling, but overall FPI selling has it has an impact. I'm not saying no. If they turn positive, I think it will give a lot of fillip to the indices. But there is not necessarily that FPI gets out of the Indian equity market, the market will give negative returns. The data does not indicate, and this is purely because of the money that you and I are putting in the market, either through mutual fund, either through direct investment, is counterbalancing the outflow from the FPI. And I think FPI have understood very clearly, we are no longer able to dictate Indian equity market the way they used to dictate a couple of years back. With this, let's open the floor for question answer. Request you to advise on oil and gas sector like BPCL, ONGC, MGL, etc. Is it a good time to invest in Nifty BSE now and do capital rotation for next few months? Thanks. So Rajan sir, I will not be able to give company specific reply because that's not compliance does not allow me to do that. Oil and gas sector, so when you look at the gross refining margin, I don't think it's going to be good for this quarter. I think I'd look at Singapore refining margin and this one last week or something, it wasn't looking very great for this quarter. So that would be a challenge. Some of the companies which are into distribution, they may get some benefit. But, right now oil and gas sector is going through a lot of uncertainty kind of stuff, like Venezuela has come out of blue. And there are some companies who basically import crude from Venezuela. They may get impacted. So my sense is that I don't think it's the right time to get into this oil and gas. Have some time. We might see some kind of price correction. We might see some type of time correction happening with the oil and gas. I'm not giving any company specific reply. Okay, that could be happen. Within the distribution also, those who are into pipe gas or this one, I don't know, I was reading one article which said that Delhi, if my memory serves me right, that they are going to ban CNG vehicles. They want to focus only on the electrical vehicles. I don't know how far it is going to get happen or something. But these kind of regulatory changes are definitely there. Will that allow company to give capital return? The answer is no, probably. So my advice would be right now stay away. Maybe you can ask maybe next month or one after that. Maybe with that time we can revisit. Right now doesn't look very exciting to me. Nagaraj saying, how to manage the current fall? So simple. We had come in front of you, Mohit, and I did say there are 3 choices we have. Number 1, you can't stomach the volatility, please go out of the market. Number 2, You can't stomach the volatility, but you choose, I want to ignore this. I will not look at equity market on daily basis or monthly basis. I will not look at my portfolio also. Stay away from the market because you can't stomach the liquidity, volatility. Option number 3, use this opportunity to add more to the equity. How to manage current fall? I think use this as a golden opportunity for the sales you wanted to buy but you could not buy. They are available at discount. Please buy that. So my first preference always to have a very simple principle and philosophy. Whenever market gives you opportunity, please seize that opportunity. Never let go that opportunity. Never let go the crisis. So I would use Nagaraj sir, if you have money, don't need for next 3 years, please buy more of a good quality company. Be careful of what you get into. You can't stomach volatility, 2 choice. Either get out of the market or just don't look at the market. Daily or weekly or monthly, stay away. You'll enjoy. In fact, yesterday someone had a brilliant story. 28th March, what was the date actually? I don't know. They said 5 years back, what was the market and 5 years down. Assume that you had basically switched off from the market for 5 years. The amount of money you would have made has been so huge, unbelievable. So we want to react and we want to get carried away by the short-term volatility. I think that's not the right thing. The very fact that you are asking me the question, that means you've been impacted. You are concerned with the short-term volatility. Please make volatility as your friend, not your enemy. And the day you understand this statement, I can tell you will make a lot of money. In fact, today, since we are talking on this, I happen to have one interaction with one customer, our PMS customer. I don't know whether he's attending this webinar or not. He lives in Kerala. He has an equity portfolio of near about 80 crore, 80. He has a real estate portfolio of near about 50 crore. And he made a very nice, beautiful statement. I do understand market where because he has been investing since the age of 17. He said, I do understand this kind of, it doesn't make me panic. The reason why he could create 80 crore from the equity purely because he understands the market volatility well. That's why I said make market volatility as your friend, not your enemy. Dear sir, what is the current proportion of small cap and mid cap separately in your sole premise strategy? So we are more than 90% in large cap, some portion in mid cap, 0 in small cap. Rajeshwari, impact of tariff on pharma and IT industry and how visa issue can impact IT sector. So it's right now this little fluid actually. No one has a very clarity of thoughts or clarity of idea what would happen. If you read some reports, they say pharma may be exempted, IT may be exempted. If you read some report, they say that it can get impacted. I think we need to wait till 2nd April, which is not very far, and need to see that. IT clearly looks like a challenge. Forget about visa issue or there or not there. I was listening to the Accenture which came out with the data. Doesn't give a very promising commentary. I think artificial intelligence is going to take away a lot of. I think someone has to really reinvent the complete business model. It's not going to be so easy. So we need to wait and watch. I think. So I think one danger that Indian IT software company has to basically they need to really gear up for this AI challenge. Because artificial intelligence is going to make many jobs redundant actually. At the same time, what can be again, I don't know someone is from the IT industry or not, and either they can concur or they basically say that my view is little different than what the reality is, that a job which can be done by human software engineer in 7 days, the artificial intelligence can do in few minutes without any error. Now imagine what kind of impact it could create. So I think I'm not very bullish on. If you go back to our 2025 sector, best sector, IT was never a part of our IT. We never selected IT as a sector which will do well. Pharma, we need to wait and watch. I think there are a lot of ambiguity there, no clarity. Let's wait till 2nd April, maybe we can revisit this actually. Having said that, we do own some of the pharma companies in our PMS portfolio. Good evening, Sunil sir. As you told us, we are holding water treatment company since long time, but Mojo score of that company was sale till 23rd March 2000. It is contradictory that score is sale and you are still holding the company since long time. Please guide. So, okay, those who are not aware about where Rajesh is coming from, it seems that Rajesh has been attending webinars for many years. So few years back, I had recommended, and those days I used to recommend stocks. I had picked 3 companies as a Diwali portfolio buy. And one of that Diwali pick was this water treatment company. And that was again my personal call. And this company has become sale not now for many. If you look at this company score, it has gone many times sale actually. I continue to hold because I told you at that point of time, and again repeat basically, because I believe that company should do well, and it has done well. I think it's up by 350% up in last 3 years or so. It has done well. So there are certain times, my view and the score view may not tally. And that's exactly what has happened with water treatment company. In fact, the 10 stocks that we had recommended in our power series on 13th March, if you remember, 2 stocks were hold. And yet we recommended buy because, basically I handpicked out companies and just for the benefit of everyone, those who attended the webinar, to whom we sent, of course, we closed one company because the company was almost up by 39 or 40%, 35 to 40% since then, 15 days. I'll tell you exactly how many times how much return it made actually. 1 second. Because we just closed the call, I think yesterday, if my memory serves me right, 31.75% and that company made in 15 days. So we recommended on 8th March and we closed on, this was closed on 24th March. So we closed that company. That company, most probably, I think it was a hold on our system at that point when I recommended. But nonetheless, they were out of 10 companies, 2 companies were hold and we still recommended. So you have a choice. In fact, at that time also I said, if you wish to go it out, you follow the Markets Mojo score. There will be sometimes where my view and the Markets Mojo view can differ. I remember one company which Mohit and I were there and he asked me, Sunil, which company you would recommend buy, and that was Tata Motors and the score was 5 or something. And it did well. So sometimes, my view and Markets Mojo view may differ and the choice is yours, what we used to pick up. Mayur sir is saying, which phase, distribution, accumulation of market we are in? I think we should be in accumulation phase. Which market ran up in the last week, how much downside we can presume. Past month low, even below that, thank you, warm regards. So Mayur sir, I don't know what can happen next week after that. But I did present a data that when market goes up by more than 4% in 1 week, what kind of returns one can expect 3 months down the line based on the historical trend. So my sense is that by 21st June or 21st June ka tha na wo data. 21st March ka tha, if my memory serves me right. So by 21st June 2025, market should be 8 or 9% up from the level which is of 23,350, just to mota. So I think, so don't be too much, have a too much short-term view on the market. It helps none actually. The moment you take too much short-term view, you're bound to go wrong. The moment you expand your time horizon, like for example, the water treatment company. Okay, I don't know how many people remember, from the day Diwali recommended to next Diwali, the script was down. And despite it was down, it is up by 350% or something since then, from the recommended price, not from the down price. So that's how it works. So don't have too much short-term view, otherwise you'll end up making an error. Rajendra sir is saying rupee appreciated only due to RBI intervention, or do you any other reason for the rupee appreciation? So it is not only that rupee has appreciated against the dollar. I think many other currencies also appreciate against the dollar. And purely because that means the dollar has got weak because of fear of what's going to happen with tariff. Will there be a recession in the US economy? And see, what is a very interesting thing which is happening, and I was reading a very interesting article the other day. People are saying US economy will slow down. Okay? But not a single research report has come which says that S&P 500 earnings will slow down. भाई ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? If economy slows down, very obviously S&P 500 earnings also should go down, na? But वो अभी तक किसी ने नहीं बोला कि earnings we are basically pushing it down. So that's where the thing. So I think I can understand if RBI is doing intervention, the rupee can have, but what happens to other emerging where RBI has no role to play? I think it's more of a structural problem with dollar depreciating rather than the rupee appreciating, and that's where this. So that's where I would like to put it this way. Jacob Josh sir is saying, is the market bottom? If yes, what are the sectors and market groups likely to lead upward move? What is likely following? What is the likely following April 2nd? So I think I did mention very loud and clear in my presentation that large cap seems to be have bottomed. Do not expect too much downside from this. Again, if I have to come in front of you on 22nd June 2025, market may be up by almost 8 to 9% from 23,350 level. So that's a Nifty 50 level I'm talking about. What are the sectors and market cap? Stick to large cap, don't stick to mid and small cap. There are a lot of pains within the mid and small cap. Having said that, not all mid and small cap will not underperform. Some will outperform, but overall it looks very tough. Sectors continues to remain the same. Banks and finance, FMCG, and infra and capital goods. And what is likely following April 2? I think I'm not able to read the mind of Trump, and hence I'll wait for next 5 more days and let's see what he does, and then I can come back to you. I don't think we should be too much worried. See, events like will come and go. It's a part and parcel of the market. We should not be making our investment decision based on events like this. Otherwise, terribly you can go wrong. In India has seen many kind of a crisis, and every time that crisis turn out to be a good opportunity to create a lot of wealth. Whether it was a sanction imposed on India, whether it was a global financial crisis, whether it's a buy to keep boom and bust, whether it's a COVID crisis or the faulty demon or GST kind of stuff. I think India did extremely well in that sense. So I'm not very too much perturbed about what happened on 2nd April, and because of that I'll decide whether I should remain in the equity or not. I'm going to remain in equity come what may, okay? And I'm very pretty sure that I'll make very good money from the equity market. But my horizon is not 1 year. My horizon is not 2 years. My horizon minimum 3 years. Minimum. I want to focus or harp on the word minimum. So I'm not little worried about it. वो आएगा जाएगा ठीक है, that's okay. One should not get too much concern about that. Rajkumar, Namaskar. Mojo calls are Mojo market cap greater than 20,000. I read somewhere only top 100 companies are large cap. I am confused. Okay, that's a very good question, Rajkumar ji. So let me help you to clear this. The AMFI definition says the top 100 companies are large cap, 101 to 250 companies are mid cap, and beyond 250 are small cap. They don't have any definition for micro cap and so on and so forth. And this list gets revised every 6 months. In our system, we said anything about 20,000 crore is a large cap, 5 to 20,000 crore is a mid cap, and anything above what we call 1 to 5,000 crore is a small cap. Now, if you look at the definition of what we call MFI, and if you look at the way NSE has defined mid cap, the way BSE has defined mid and small cap. I think you'll see a lot of divergence happening between that. So there are different definitions available for large cap. There are different definitions available for mid and small cap, and so on and so forth. So it's all this one. There is no standard. Everyone chooses one standard to define them. And we chose 20,000 crore as a large cap, 5 to 20,000 as a mid cap, and anything 1 and 5,000 crore as a small cap. That's how we basically define this. So I hope that clears your confusion. For Sagility India, pledge promoter holding is none, but NSE website said 100% promoter shares are pledge. Again, confusion. So I don't know, sir, where you are saying. We are saying promoters pledge holding is none, but NSE website said 100%. Is that what you are saying? So let me come back to you, sir. I don't know whether we are saying. 1 minute. Since you asked me this question, let me go to that Sagility India. So yes, we are saying none because that's what the data we have got it from the exchange and from our data provider. So, but you are saying as per the NSE, sir, why don't you say okay? Since you are saying NSE website is saying, let me go to NSE also now, and let's see whether this happens or not. Just give me 2 minutes. So I'm just going into that. Share holding pattern कहाँ पे होता है? Okay. Okay, number of sales, promoters, shareholding. So, okay, voting rights. You are right, sir. Let me come back to you on this. I think there is seems to be, we need to check with our data provider. Why is he saying so? You are right. मुझे या forward कर देना. ये जो Jason को forward कर दो, please, if you don't mind. We'll come back to you on this, sir. Thanks for pointing it out. Durgesh sir, many thanks for your hand-holding and encouragement during the tough times. What would be your opinion on real estate companies and wire and cable companies going forward? So I was reading one, I think Creswell or someone came out with the report saying that 16 to 18% growth can be expected in FY 2025 for the wire and cable. So see, when there is a competition, and of course competition is not going to come in from today, but it's going to come in. I think I believe that some of the input costs have gone up, some of the metal prices have gone up, which goes to, as a cable, a wire and cable. So I'm not very excited about that business. See, try to understand. When you look at you should always look at the business in a very little different manner. Does wire and cable has any kind of a moat? Answer is no. There is nothing kind of a moat that it's more like a commodity business. Even though it's a branded business, still I would say it's like a cement. Cement is a branded business, but still is a commodity, isn't it? So the same way, I think it's more like a commodity business. If I give you 4 brands, okay, and if I tell you one brand is available cheaper as compared to other, most probably I think you'll go with the cheaper brand as compared to so they are basically. So I don't see that. And competition is going to increase. If that's going to happen, I think it will force some of these wire and cable companies to do wrong capital allocation. Why? Because they would try to protect their business interests. They say, okay, they say, let's go to some other adjacent fields and let's try to protect our turf. And that's where I think they will make a mistake. So wire and cable, will I put my money? The answer is no. Let me put it this way. As regards real estate companies, I think there has been a amount of slowdown within the real estate space. You look at the data, which is one of the worst performing sector in 2025 somewhere has been real estate. I think just today one company came on the TV channel saying that they were targeting 2,000 crore. I think they'll be able to do only 1,900 crore kind of a stuff. So they are basically reduce that. It looks difficult. The worst performing sector in 2025 in Nifty Realty, down by almost 19, more than 19%. My advice would be, please stay away. If I have a money, I will put in banks and finance. I'll put in FMCG. I'll put in infra/capital goods. Very clear cut. Ramesh sir is saying when FIIs are sellers and the DIIs were buyers almost for the equal quantity, however the market was crashing down. When the FIIs are reversing the trend, the market is going up and DIIs are not net sellers. I don't understand the psychology. If you can understand, can you please explain the phenomena? Thanks for your time. Sir, Ramesh sir, क्या होता है? I presented one data point. In 2022, is my screen visible or no? It will not be now. It's visible, just look at this. In FY 2022, FPI sold 1.4 lakh crore and yet market went up by 19%. In FY 2025, which is still not completed, till 26 March, they sold near about 1.37 lakh crore and yet market is positive. So, sometimes FPI selling does create a negative sentiment. लेकिन DII buying वो बोलते घर की बुल की दाल बराबर. I am a vegetarian, so please pardon me, but I need to say that because just to drive home the point and not to offend anyone, those who are vegetarian. But just wanted to convey the point. So, क्या होता है basically somehow we basically no one will ask DII ने आज क्या किया, but many will ask FI ने क्या किया आज, उन्होंने लिया कि नहीं लिया, kind of stuff. So it does create a sentiment. But the data what I presented over a longer period of time makes little difference to this one because ultimately पैसा होता है. Paisa is no color whether it's FI का DI का है. So as long as DI inflows is strong, I think market will move up whether we like it or not. For some reason, if FPI also basically become negative and DI also become negative, then it's a problem. As long as retail inflow is good, I don't think we should look too much worry about it. But you're right, actually. Sometimes the FPI carries more weight as compared to DI, and that's where I said घर की बुल की दाल बराबर. Satish sir is almost end up asking the company only. View on private railway. So private wagon looks little promising. Be careful, but what I've been hearing and when I listen to the con calls of some of the railway companies, the order is not coming as quick and fast it used to come. So I think the order book could be a challenge. Having said that, some of these wagon companies do have a good order book position. In one of the company that our team recommended is a stock of the week also. I think that company should do well because they have a good order book position that should help give a lot of revenue visibility. But otherwise, railway, I think it will slow down in terms of giving order. That's what I've been hearing from the management. Devendra sir is saying, can you make a new video on emerging themes for 2026 bull run? Which sectors are likely to outperform in the next bull run? सर हम तो अभी 2025 में है सर. Are you talking about FY 2026? Is that what you are trying to say or calendar year? अगर आप कैलेंडर ईयर बोलते हो सर मैं तो वो आपको बताऊंगा जनवरी 2026 में. FY 2026 I believe the same sectors which are good till 31st December 2025, logically they should be good till 31st March 2026 also. So banks, NBFCs, capital goods, infra and FMCG, not in the same order, but that's the flavor. Mohan Kumaran sir, Namaskar sir. 2 webinars back you were saying that while large and small caps to have bottom out, only mid are likely to fall further. Can you only mid caps fall the market while asking to remain unaffected? Thanks and regards. Okay, so sir, what I exactly said, let me repeat that. We don't see much of a downfall from this level in large cap. Mid cap, there could be a time correction, there could be price correction. In small cap, there could be no price correction, there could be a time correction. That's what exactly I stated. So I thought let me repeat this. I believe that clarifies your doubt. Sam Singh, how can one invest in gold and silver? Please advise the best way. Sir, ETFs are the best way to invest in gold and silver. Do not buy physical gold. It comes with extra cost. It comes with the locker cost or the preserving cost. Please buy an ETF. My request to all of you. Gold and silver, please buy in ETF. That's the best way to invest in ETF, in gold and silver. RB, I had made a portfolio of all buy stocks as guided by market view IP. Today, most of the stocks holding have turned into hold, sell, or strong sell. What is the suggest for me? Aren't one point of buy stocks supposed to be funnily good or get buy rating? If so, when? How can this become sell? Please help me understand this. So, RB sir, you know many FIIs also recommend a company buy. And 3 months, 6 months down the line, they become sell. Company was fundamentally good when they recommended buy. Then how come it become a sell? So our IP is a function of the financial performance of that company. If the company does not do well, or the probability of that company making likely to outperform, we will recommend a sell. What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. So if company was good at that time, we recommended buy. Because we thought that company can create outperformance. In fact, yesterday we closed one of the stock of the week. Very good company, part of Nifty 50. We closed the call in loss. The quality of companies, there is nothing wrong with that company. But our analysis suggests this company is not going to create the alpha. Then why should you continue to hold? So don't get confused with buy and sell, and then buy is a quality and the sell is a poor quality. No. There are many Nifty 50 companies in our systems are sell. There is nothing wrong with the quality of that company. The quality of the company may be good only. Even though despite it is a sale, it may be good only. The quality may be good. When we say sale, matlab this company is unlikely to outperform going forward. I know you people actually literally गाली दिया था मुझे. In March 2021, we recommended Asian Paints as a sell. And Asian Paints was the best wealth creating story. Was the quality bad at that point? Answer was no. Because as IP suggested, this company is not going to create wealth going forward. It's going to underperform. And that's the reason it became a sell in our system. So don't get confused with the quality and the sell. Buy means this company is going to outperform. Sell means this company is likely to underperform. As simple as that. The SS Namdari saying stock of the week is not aligned with your investment philosophy. Do not cut flowers and water, which is my understanding right. What is your level of involvement stock of the week service feature? Sir, I'm in the PMS side, so I don't look at the stock of the week. Okay, so that's my level of involvement. Okay, whenever my opinion is being asked, I always give an opinion, but it's not a binding opinion on the team that looks into it. The stock of the week is also very similar philosophy. I think there is nothing wrong with that. Do not cut flowers and water the weeds. In fact, many of you had asked me other day also that many stock of the week companies have come down. Should they buy or not? And if you go back to my video, I think that video should be played again. Actually, I did mention that they are good quality companies. If they are good quality companies, please do not get out of that company because the price have fallen. In fact, someone asked me, should we buy more? And I said, if the score is buy, please go ahead and buy those companies, actually. So there is nothing wrong with that. The one particular stock of the week which we are talking about, automobile company, I think our team basically did some channel check and they realized that the particular auto company, the new EV that they've launched is not very overwhelming. And that's the reason. And so we thought that it's better to basically lock in the loss. And maybe at the appropriate time, when it again becomes a buy, we may buy that company. So that's the only logic. But we will never ever basically water the bridge. I don't think that's a philosophy we won't believe in actually. No. But if I have not understood your question, if I have not answered satisfactorily, please ask me again. I'll be more than happy to clarify further. Mohammed Tahir, so what is your opinion about the chemical sector? I think chemical is again a function of what happens with China, and China continues to remain a little not very clarity is not there still. So yes, I do understand that Chinese market did extremely well. There was a stimulus given by the Chinese government. I think we need to still wait strong signal coming in. And I was looking at some of the chemical prices. There is a divergent trend. Some chemical prices are moving up. Some chemical prices are coming down. So there is no clear-cut kind of the kind of scenario we saw in 2020. ऐसा कुछ बन नहीं रहा अभी. I think you have to be a little stock specific. But otherwise, overall, it doesn't look like a very great wealth creation story from here on. Popat bhai, sir, please pick up my question. Can you purchase NSE? My broker Religare is offering the scrip at the grey market. Pound में दे रहा सर आपको 1733. Sir, it's an unlisted space, sir. We don't know when NSE is going public. If you ask me very honestly, I would rather wait for a company to get listed and buy, because then at least I have a liquidity. Of course, it's not that NSE is not liquid in the grey market, but then the price discovery does not happen the way it should happen. So I don't know whether 1733 is the right price at pound. I don't know, sir. I think I don't think NSE is such a high price. If why is he offering you such a this one? 1 minute, I'll just tell you what is the price. It's जो चलता है प्राइस में बताता हूँ आपको. एक सेकंड दीजिए सर. Just 2 minutes, sir. Because I keep getting the grey market का. हाँ, मैं आपको बताता हूँ NSE का क्या प्राइस है. Of course, this is in rupee, sir. So you need to National Stock Exchange India Limited. I think it's 1630 price. तो आपको जो मिल रहा है वो तो मैं कैसे I don't know what is a पाउंड का भाव क्या है, पर यू कन्वर्ट दैट 1630 पे चल रहा है भाव सर एज ऑफ टुडे NSE का ग्रे मार्केट. विल आई बाय NSE एट 1630? आंसर इज नो. सो आई होप दैट आंसर्स योर क्वेश्चन. आमिर टेल्स मी दैट देयर आर नो क्वेश्चंस और देयर इज नो टाइम लेफ्ट. अरे आमिर, वीक में एक बात आता हूँ भाई, लास्ट 5 क्वेश्चन ले लो भाई. Vikram Singh, have you read recent article by Shankar Sharma suggesting the foolishness of retail investors buying when FIIs are offloading, also saying FDs are better than equity? Your comments, please. Sir, I don't comment on other experts. They are entitled to have their own view, the same way I am entitled to have my own views. I strongly believe next 5 years equity market will give much higher returns as compared to FD. My complete wealth is in equity. I hope that answers your question. Rahul Tyagi, sir, I am already PMS customer. I want to add some more money, but I want my portfolio to be well diversified into equity, bonds, gold, etc. Can you say what the formula should be for some percentage if somebody needs to make into a different assets class? So very simple, Rahul ji, and I've said time and again, not only for you, for benefit of everyone. Gold should be 10 to 15% of your total portfolio, total net worth. Bonds, only those money which you need for next 3 to 5. So that means, suppose your monthly expense is 1 lakh. Maybe you can put 36 lakhs into debt instruments or 60 lakhs into debt instruments. That is 1 lakh into 36, 3 years or 5 years, 30, depending upon your risk appetite. Balance everything should be in the equity. As simple as that. So I hope that answers. If you still need more clarity, please reach out to your RM, and they will line up a meeting with me. But that's how you should look at it. If still not want more clarity on this, Rahul ji. As per Grok, large cap starts at 67,000, mid cap at 28,000 crore, and small cap 8,000. So different people have different this one. There are, if you look at the BSE small cap index, for example, there are many companies within the BSE small cap index which are much higher than the 8,500 crore. So now whether the what we call this index is wrong, it's not. Index is not wrong. Just to give an example, okay, the Lloyd's Metal is a part of BSE small cap. The market cap is 66,413 crore, which is very closer to the large cap than the figure of mid cap. What is this? Hitachi Energy, 54,000 crore. Fortis Healthcare, 40. These are part of, I'm saying, BSE small cap. Okay, so वो तो हर एक कंपनी का अलग अलग है सर. आप उसमें मत हर एक अपना करता है. आप आपके हिसाब से डिफाइन करोगे व्हाट इज स्मॉल कैप. दिस वन वी हैव डिफाइंड स्मॉल कैप द वे वी थॉट इट्स राइट वे टू डू दैट. दैट्स द वे वी लुक एट इट. Okay, let's look at the Nifty small cap. Okay, if I can get it. Okay, if I can get Nifty mid cap 50 hai. Okay, and let's continue with the same example. As per Grok, the large cap is 67,000 crore. बराबर है. Indian Hotels is a part of Nifty mid cap 50. उसका market cap is 1.15 lakh crore. So logically this should be large cap, not mid cap. Max Healthcare, उसका market cap is 1.09 lakh crore. As per that logic, it should be. Now, very interesting thing, since you said 28,000 crore, in the Nifty 50, mid cap, not a single company has market cap less than 30,000 crore. In other words, वो 28,000 crore वाला कोई company नहीं उसमें. So that's why I'm saying don't get too much confused with this. Either you follow our definition, you follow Grok definition, you follow MFI definition. आपको जो follow करना करो, पर इसको consistently follow करो बस. My request to you is as follows. On the sector economics, is it capital goods less infra or capital goods plus infra? Can you please? Capital goods plus infra, slash infra I said, plus, not minus. Lalita is saying there are many companies without FI or mutual fund investment but with good liquidity and low P. Why don't you recommend those stocks at this continuously falling market? Okay, ma'am. We will recommend that. Please help us understand which company you are referring to. Number one. Number two, it has to fall as a buy in our IP. If it doesn't happen to be a buy in our system, how can we recommend that company as a buy? So please help me first, which company you believe has a good liquidity, FI and mutual non-have and their P's are low and you are recommending. Please let's share us at least 10 companies' name. And we'll see which companies you are referring to and we'll come back to this. Please email us to support@marketsmojo.com. 3 हुआ 4 हुआ? Okay, ठीक है. Rajiv sir, what do you think the impact would be on the stock market if the Trump goes ahead with the tariff plan on 2nd April? Maybe market can basically can come down temporarily, basically because the sentiment. It can impact the market. Should that be the reason for you to get out of the equity market? The answer is no. We have seen many events coming and going, and no event has a very everlasting impact on the market, whether it's a global financial crisis, whether it's a COVID crisis, whether it's any other crisis you talk about. There's no. So my suggestion is that don't give too much importance to 2nd April. Yes, observe it, learn it, but don't overreact to that. That's my request to all of you. Again, I don't know whether I'll be in front of you before 2nd April or not. मेरा कभी next webinar?
The next Friday.
So my webinar is scheduled on 4th April. My request to all of you, since एक मिनट मैं कर लूँ complete. My request to all of you is that I will not be in front of you on 3rd April because 2nd April को होगा announcement. 3rd April market will rake Indian market. प्लीज डो नॉट ओवर रिएक्ट, रिमेन काम एंड कंपोज. जो कुछ आने वाला है वो आने दो. यू शुड नेवर एवर मेक योर इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन बिकॉज ऑफ वन इवेंट. कोई धरती बंद खत्म नहीं होने वाली है वहां से. सो प्लीज रिमेन काम एंड कंपोज. अगेन आस्क मी ऑन 4th April दिस क्वेश्चन. आई विल बी मोर देन हैप्पी टू आंसर. हाँ, क्या बता देता मेरा?
नामदारी का एक है।
सॉरी
एसएस नामदारी का।
हाँ, क्या? Namdar said, as per your philosophy, one should hold a growing company and should not bother about target price. Of course, portfolio weightage should also be managed. I too firmly believe in this. SOW is not following this philosophy by practicing target price. Also, some of stocks do not exist in spite of bad or not so good result. I hope this clears my point of view. So, Namdari sir, number one, first thing, when we started our stock of the week, I think based on the public demand, the target price was brought in. And as and when the target price get achieved, we close the call. Some people choose to continue with the holding on, that's a different story. But we said we gave this target price, sometimes we revise upwards also target price. But when the target price has been hit, we basically said please get out because you will come with a new stock of the week every week. See, when you have a every week new company coming in, a lot of people also came with the suggestion that how many companies we are supposed to hold in the portfolio. Because साल में 52 companies हो जाएगी. So can we do that? So that's another reason we came with the target price. So once you get out of that company, you have released the money to invest in next company. That's one. And second thing, you said some of the company came out with the bad or not so great results. Still we continue to hold because the team that select the company basically continues to believe that it's a one of a kind of a numbers. It's not a trend, and hence they thought that this company should basically bounce back, and that's why they continue to remain a stock of the week. For some reason, if they believe that this company is not going to perform well, the way I'm talking about the auto company which got closed yesterday, they will come in front of you and say, well, we are closing the call, we are getting out of this company. So till such time we believe that this company has a potential to do well, they have not been closed. That's what my answer to your question. Yeah, Amir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, done. So I do understand there will be more questions, but in the interest of the time, I must conclude here. Again, I'll be in front of you on the 4th April, as Amir tells me with the schedule, because first is holiday, so maybe second we will have a, let's say, Wednesday. Sorry, Tuesday we'll have, na, am I right? First ko stock of the week है, second को क्या है? Latest edition. Third, I'll be in front of your PMS customer. That's the reason 4th April I'll be in front of you with the equity. For our equity, for the PMS customer, I'm there tomorrow. Some interesting data. There I'm going to present state of the economy, and I took out very nice, interesting data on what's happening in the economy. So those who are PMS customer, please do join me tomorrow. Rest of you on 4th April 2025. Good night. Take care.